Hello everybody, it's Thursday today, and today we're going to be thinking about creating our own bar charts. Now bar charts are quite similar to the pictograms that we were looking at yesterday, so we'll be looking at those again and using the information that we get from that to create a bar chart. But as always, we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up. Okay, so let's have a little look at this pictogram here. Alright, this is a pictogram. What I'd like you to do is see if you can come up with a title for my pictogram and then see if you can work out what my key might be. How many goals do you think there are? Okay. Brilliant stuff, boys and girls. So, the title might be something like number of goals scored. So it's got to be something that relates to, that says scared, I don't think goals can be scared, scored. Goals scored. So it has to link to the pictogram and what the information is showing us. So, number of goals. Each football is worth 2 goals. I wonder how many goals each match was, or how many goals were scored in each match here. I wonder if you can use this key for each football to represent 2 goals to work out how many goals were scored. Have a go. What do you think? Brilliant. Let's have a little look. So, if we know that each football is worth 2 goals, we can see that we've got 2 whole footballs here, so that would be 4 goals. If we've got half a football, I need to half 2. Half of 2 is 1. 2 and 2 and 1 equals 5. They scored 5 goals in match 1. 2, 2, 2. 3 times 2 is 6. In match 3, there's 1 football. 1 football relates to 2 goals. They scored 2 in that one. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 2, 4, and then a half again is 5. Okay. Alright, boys and girls. So, this is our pictogram. We've got clear labels of the match here. Number of goals scored. This is our key. And here's our title. Alright. Okay. What I'd like you to do is pause the video here and see if you can answer some of these questions. So, pause the video, have a look at this key here and this pictogram, see if you can answer these questions, see how you get on, see if you can apply your learning that you've gone through over the last couple of days, see if you can answer these questions. Brilliant stuff. I'm sure you're doing a really good job. So, Group 3 collects twice as many apples as Group 1. Now then, I've forgotten to do the most important thing, okay, and work out my totals. So if I've got each apple is worth 10, so I've got 10 and half of 10, which is 15. I've got 10, 20, 30. I haven't worked out anything here or number 6, and I've got 30 here. Okay, so let's see. Group 3 collects twice as many apples as Group 1. So if I've got Group 1, they've collected 15 apples. Twice means 2 times. 15 times 2 equals 30. So in here, I'll need to draw 3 apples because they also collect 30. Okay, Group 4 collects 10 more apples than Group 2. Group 2's collected 30. 30 plus 10 equals 40. If there's 40 apples, I need to draw 4 apples. 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes 40. Group 6 collects half as many apples as Group 4. Here's Group 4. Half of 40. Half of 40 is 20. or if you want to, you can look at the apples here. If I've got 4 apples, if I chop them in half, I get 2 apples. So group 6 has 20 apples. How did you get on? Could you complete this pictogram at home? Well done if you did. You're doing a great job. Okay, the bar chart looks like this. Here are my coloured bars, which shows us the data or the information. Our title is all about favourite fruit, so these bars will show us favourite fruit. Here we've got an x-axis, and an axis starts at 0 and climbs. Y goes up, it's a straight line. Okay, so that's our y-axis, and that's really important that we have a label so that we know who's making the vote, what it is that we're talking about. For here, we've got children and their favourite fruit. Okay, our x-axis looks like a cross, like this, and it goes across the bottom of our chart here. And that also needs to have a label. For this one, we've got the different types of fruit: bananas, grapes, apples and pears. So, to create a bar chart, you need a title, you need a y-axis, you need an x-axis, and then you need 2 labels as well. Up the side here, I've got some numbers: 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. This climbs in increments of 2. So for each line that it climbs up to, we're jumping 2, 2, 2, 2. So if I'm looking at this bar chart, I can see that 10 children voted banana as their favourite fruit. If I look at grapes, I can see that only 2 children have voted for grapes as their favourite fruit. If I look at apples, I'm going to go up, I'm going to go all the way across to read my chart. It's up number 8. So 8 children voted for apples and 6 children voted for pears. So the bars show us the information, okay? And today we're going to have a go at making a bar chart. I'm going to model it for you, and then on the website is a little worksheet for you to have a go at, okay? So what I've got here, I've got a pictogram. It's the number of cakes that I like to eat, alright? And I'm going to create a bar chart based on this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so it makes it easier to see. Okay, first things first, I need to create a title. This is all to do with cakes, so I'm going to say cakes eaten. Now I find it's really important to use a ruler so we can get our straight lines, especially in maths because we like to be really accurate with what we're doing. Okay. Now then, where our 2 axes meet, I need to put a 0 down here because we always start from nothing when we think about bar charts. Okay? Next, let me see. That's right, I need to think of a y-axis. Remember, our y looks like this. We go up and it makes a straight line up and down. Straight line up and down is here. Here's my y-axis. I'm going to label that with groups. Now I'm actually thinking about this. Maybe groups shouldn't go up here. Maybe I should put something else. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to put groups down the bottom. Here's my label, groups. I think this will work a lot better. And it's really important that when you're thinking about how you're going to lay out your bar chart, that you do it in the best way. Next I'm going to do number of cakes. So my y-axis is going to be number of cakes. Okay, those are our titles and labels done. Now let's put on our groups. Okay, so group 1 I'm going to put here. Group 2 is going to go here. Group 3, Group 4. Need to extend my line. So when you do your bar charts, it's really important that your lines are long enough. Group 5. So my groups here are related down here. Okay. Now let's look at the increments that I'm going to climb up the left hand side. If each cupcake is worth 5, here are my different totals: 25, 25, 30, 15, 20. When I think about my increments, I'm going to think about a times table that each of these numbers is in. I know that all of these numbers are in the 5 times table. So each time I jump up to a new line, I could count that as 5. So my increment could be 5, here, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35. Now, if I look at my data set, I can see that my biggest number is 30, so I don't really need to go any higher than that. So whenever you're creating bar charts, you need to look at the largest number that you have and think, do I need to go any more than that? And if you don't, there's no need to. If you look carefully at where I placed my numbers, you can see that I haven't placed them on the line, I've split the line. I'll zoom in so that you can see. If you see 35 here, I've split the line. And that's so that as my bar chart comes up, I stop at that line. Okay? Because sometimes, if we put them on the line, we can actually go to the next square. And that wouldn't be a true, accurate representation of that number. Okay, now time for the fun bit. I'm going to draw the bars. I suggest that you use a ruler at home. Okay, now then, group 1, they eat 25 cakes. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to look across, and I'm going to stop on the line that I split with 25. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit. I've got some tools on my program, which means that I can do this nice and quickly. There we go. So group 1, eat 25 cupcakes, which means my bar is going to stop at 25. They don't eat any more, and they definitely don't eat any less. Okay. Group 2, eat 25 cupcakes as well. So I start at 0, I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and stop. And if we go all the way across, we can see that I've stopped on the line that 25 splits. Group 3, eat 30 cupcakes. Now group 3 are particularly greedy. Look at group 3, counting in my 5s. Here's 25, 5 more is 30. Wonderful. Group 4, eat 15 cupcakes. 5, 10, 15, and I stop on that line. Make sure that you're using a ruler again. And group 5, eat 20 cupcakes. 5, 10, 15, 20. Excellent stuff. I've created my bars. I've stopped at the right point. I've got my title. I've got my x-axis. I've got my y-axis. Sorry, my x-axis going along here. Okay, everything's labelled nicely. It's just lacking something now. Lacking a little bit of colour. So let's pop some colour on, shall we? Let's see. I quite like purple. That one can be purple. I quite like green and pink. And do a little bit of blue. And last but not least, my favourite colour, orange. There we go. So, here's my bar chart based on my pictogram here. Okay? Here's a challenge. Zeus has been throwing an awful lot of thunderbolts in a week. Okay? Your task is to create a bar chart for me. Okay, so on the website, I've screenshotted this with a grid underneath if you want to use that. If you want to have a go freehand, you're more than welcome to as well. So, use the pictogram, create a bar chart for the amount of thunderbolts that Zeus throws in a week. If you need to, replay the video, go back through it, especially on the last section, so that you can draw a bar chart accurately and clearly. And don't forget, send them in. Well done, boys and girls, you're doing a great job.